Hello and welcome to Hoosier Nation on this week's episode of This is Indiana. I'm Olivia Ray.
And I'm Lindsay Wright. We're here to give you an up-close and personal look at some of your favorite IU athletes, coaches, and facilities.
And that's not all. We have the latest highlights and more. This is Indiana starts right now. It was an exciting weekend for Indiana sports, and we have your highlights. Let's take a look now. Indiana men's basketball team opened their 2016-17 season with a 103-99 overtime win against number 3 Kansas in the Armed Forces Classic. Blackman led Indiana to their 19th consecutive win in a season opener with 26 points. The game turned into a shootout between James Blackman Jr. and Kansas's Frank Mason III in the last 3 minutes of the second half. After the game, knotted at 89-89, both teams had to turn to their benches because of foul trouble as they headed to extra time. And from IU's bench, a hero emerged. Freshman Curtis Jones scored 7 of Indiana's 14 points in the overtime period. He drained a three-pointer, knocked out 2 free throws, and sealed the deal with a dunk. Other than Blackman and Jones, Thomas Bryant posted his 3rd career double-double with 19 points and 10 rebounds and a pair of steals. OG Anunoby and Robert Johnson led Indiana's defense, and Jawan Morgan with 10 rebounds. Kansas is the highest-ranked team Indiana has beaten in their first game of the season since beating number 2 UCLA by 20 points in 1975. Indiana will return to Bloomington in preparation for their home opener and their first regular season game in the newly renovated Simon Scott Assembly Hall on Wednesday.
The Hoosier football team hosted another top 10 opponent this past weekend, the Penn State Nittany Lions. After 6 lead changes and 2 ties, Penn State left with a 45-31 win over Indiana. Indiana's defense dominated the line of scrimmage as the unit posted 16 tackles for loss, which is tied for the most in school history. The effort contained Penn State tailback Saquon Barkley to his lowest single-game rushing average of his career. Indiana's Tigray Scales contributed with 8 tackles and 3 with the loss. Rashard Fant and Tony Fields earned interceptions, while Ashawn Riggins and Jonathan Crawford notched 2 breakups apiece. Greg Gooch, Jacob Robinson, and Niles Sykes recorded sacks, and on the offensive side, Divine Redding rushed for 108 yards with 2 touchdowns. Richard Lego held his own in the quarterback duel with Trace McSorley. Lego completed 23 of 40 passes for 293 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lego talked about momentum changes post-game.
It's hard to get and it's easy to lose, it seems like, so did it maybe for a little bit, but we got it back. It switched back and forth the whole second half, the whole game. Just like any other game.
Penn State scored 2 more times, a field goal make and a defensive scoop, and scored to finalize the margin at 45-31. IU is back to work in preparation for their final road game of the regular season. They'll head to the Big House to take on number 3 Michigan.
The swimming and diving team completed their second full team sweep of the season after the men's and women's teams dominated the Cincinnati Bearcats on Friday. The number 2 men's team won 195-102, and the 13th ranked women's team won 187-106. Each team earned 12 event wins in the dual meet.
And IU volleyball took on the Nebraska Cornhuskers on Saturday. The Cornhuskers won 3-0. After the game, the team celebrated their senior night. Senior Megan Tallman broke a school record for career assists in the rally scoring era. Senior Taylor Lebo is now 8th in the Hoosier all-time list for career digs, with her count at 1,094.
3 Hoosiers from the cross-country team have qualified for the NCAA championships as individuals. Catherine Receiver, Jason Christ, and Matt Schwartzer will all represent IU in Saturday's race.
The third-ranked Indiana men's soccer team competed in the Big Ten tournament semifinals in Westfield, falling in penalties to the number 18 Wisconsin Badgers. The Hoosiers outplayed the Badgers for the majority of the match, outshooting Wisconsin 29-6 over the 110 minutes of play. Neither team could find a golden goal in the 20 minutes of overtime, so the game moved to a penalty shootout with Wisconsin edging out Indiana 4-3. The Hoosiers will be the 7th overall seed for the NCAA tournament after posting a record of 11-1-7. Indiana will begin tournament play Sunday at 1 p.m. with a second-round matchup against either Akron or Villanova.
The 23rd ranked women's basketball team moved to 2-0 on the season as they dominated Vanderbilt 94-61 in Simon Scott Assembly Hall. Tyra Buss posted 11 points and 5 assists in the win, and Alex Gassion had a team-high 22 points. Tia Albert made the highlight reel, sinking this off-balance three-pointer at the first half buzzer. But most notably, in the second quarter, Tyra Buss became the fastest women's player to 1,000 points in school history. Let's take a look at her journey to 1,000.
3 points, Tyra Buss.
Buss in transition left side, puts it off the glass and scores. Come down to the left corner and Buss drives into the paint. Right hand off the glass for 2. There's Tyra Buss. She'll drive it left baseline through traffic and has a nice runner from the left side. Spins it around the basket.
Buss dives in, gets the and one. Tyra Buss. 2-on-1. Numbers for the Hoosiers. Buss gets the layup. Here's a three-point try. It's good for Buss.
Tyra Buss. Reverse layup and she has it. Baseline, missed it short. Elbert flips it out to Tyra Buss. In front of everybody, left-handed lay-in. There's 1,000.
Stick around. When we come back, we head out to the streets of IU to talk to IU fans in the latest installment of Hoosiers on the Street.
Hi, I'm Sage Steele of ESPN. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Indiana University.
Welcome back to your favorite sports recap show. This is Indiana. On this week's segment of Hoosiers on the Street, this is Indiana's Rob Sherrill talks to fans about men's basketball's overtime win against Kansas, as well as the football team's loss this past weekend.
Hey, this is Rob Sherrill back again with another segment of Hoosier on the Street. Today we're going to be talking to students about IU men's basketball and our unfortunate loss against Penn State. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, now I'm standing here with the IU senior, Lydia Leahy. Now, Lydia, you not only watched the IU Kansas game, you actually got sent Snapchats directly from Hawaii. What did you see from those Snapchats?
I just saw us playing really well. Like, honestly, I thought we were going to lose since Kansas is a lot better. But I was really shocked by how well we were playing and everything, and like all the spirit and school spirit that they had down in Hawaii and here in Bloomington. So.
Okay, so if there was an improvement factor, what do you think that we could have done better during that game?
Done better? I'm not sure about done better, but I know what we did well. I know we worked together really well, and that's like really important for whenever like we're playing any sport, not just basketball. And so I thought that was really great for the game.
Okay, I'm standing here with Juan Orrego. Juan, we lost against Penn State this past Saturday. Can you give us your thoughts? I understand you watched a little bit of the game.
Yeah, I watched the end of it, and I thought we could have done better defense-wise, trying to protect the ball, and then I think we have like butterfingers.
Now it's time to get the IU staff vantage point about how people feel about the big win that IU had against Kansas. So IU beat highly ranked Kansas, and we did it pretty well. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited about that. I had Colin Farrell, listen to me. Colin Hartman. I had Yogi Farrell before in my class too, but Colin Hartman, and I'm really excited for them. So go team.
That's great. What class did you teach?
Career development and for School of Public and Environmental Affairs. So I'm excited that our team won. That's really great. Looks like we'll have a good year then.
Looks like we're going to have a great year. I just want to know, I'm kind of curious, how did Colin do in the class?
Colin did great in the class, so did Yogi. And Colin also had a great internship. So we encourage students to do what they love, and he's thinking of, beyond now and what he might do. So, yeah.
Great, okay. Looks like Colin's doing well on the court and off the court. Thank you so much for giving us your opinions. This has been Rob Stroh with This is Indiana. Back to you.
Great.
Coming up, we have all your times for upcoming matchups this week. We'll be right back.
I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Indiana University.
Welcome back to This is Indiana. It's going to be a busy week for your Indiana Hoosier teams, so now let's take a look at the week ahead. The men's soccer team will face the winner of Akron and Villanova in the second round matchup of the NCAA tournament on Sunday. Start time is at 1 p.m. here at Bill Armstrong Stadium. You can get your tickets for just $5 if you're a student, so make sure you're there.
And women's basketball takes to the road this week. The Hoosiers first look to beat Chattanooga on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Then the team faces off with Western Kentucky on Saturday. Tip-off is at 3 p.m. You can see it on Fox College Sports.
The volleyball team steps up to take on the Purdue Boilermakers on Wednesday here in Bloomington. Start time is at 7 p.m. and it's the final home game for the Hoosiers, and the team is looking to wide out the gym, so be sure to make it out and wear white. The team also looks to take down Rutgers on Sunday at 1 p.m.
Following that big win against Kansas, the men's basketball team goes against UMass Lowell on Wednesday. Game time is at 7 p.m. Check it out on Big Ten Network. And on Saturday, November 19th, they will take on Liberty at 7 p.m.
And finally, the football team travels to Ann Arbor on Saturday to face Michigan. The game starts at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can watch the game on ESPNU or even listen on IU Radio Network.
Well, that's all we have this week on This is Indiana, but be sure to check back in with us next week for all the latest on IU athletics.
That's right. We'll bring you the latest highlights, updates, and previews, plus much more.
Also, don't forget you can tweet us any of your ideas to Lindsay Wright or at Olivia Ray. Let us know what you want to see on the show.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next week.